the sun. A glowing sphere of plasma 93 million miles away, yet powerful enough to control every moment of life on Earth. It feeds our crops, powers our climate, and lights up our skies. Without it, Earth would be nothing but a frozen, lifeless rock drifting through the void. But imagine this. One ordinary day without warning, the sun simply vanishes. No fiery explosion, no warning flare. One moment it's there, and the next, nothing. Darkness swallows the solar system. This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a way to understand exactly how dependent we are on our star and how fragile life really is. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore what would happen, step by step, if the sun suddenly went out. From the final 8 minutes of light to the first freezing year, and ultimately to the long-term fate of humanity. What happens when the source of all life is ripped away? Let's find out. When the sun disappears, we don't notice right away. Light, after all, takes time to travel. From the sun's surface to our planet, it takes exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds, which means for those last few moments, we're living on borrowed time. For 8 minutes, the Earth continues as normal. People drive to work. Children play in the park. Plants continue to photosynthesize. Nobody has the faintest idea that the solar system has just lost its center. But then, it happens. The last photons of sunlight race across the sky and vanish. In an instant, day turns to night. Cities and countrysides alike are plunged into absolute darkness. The stars appear shockingly bright. Planets once hidden in the glare now shine like jewels. The moon goes completely black because it only shines by reflecting sunlight. Earth, for the first time in 4.5 billion years, is truly alone. But it isn't just light that disappears. Gravity itself is tied to the speed of light, which means after 8 minutes, Earth is no longer held in orbit. Instead of circling the sun, our planet shoots off in a straight line, endlessly drifting into the blackness of interstellar space. The solar system as we know it ceases to exist. Panic erupts worldwide. Astronomers are the first to understand what's happening. Governments scramble to respond, but there is no fix. Humanity is staring into a future without its star. The first day without the sun is surreal. At first, you wouldn't even notice the temperature change. Earth's atmosphere and oceans act like a giant thermal blanket holding in heat. On that first night, which never ends, the world cools only a few degrees. It feels like a sudden cold snap, nothing more. But the real horror is the darkness. Imagine Times Square in New York, usually blazing with daylight, suddenly swallowed in an endless night. Streetlights flicker on, car headlights sweep across deserted roads, and for the first time in human history, billions of people look up to a sky filled with stars brighter than they've ever seen. Without sunlight, the Milky Way stretches overhead like a river of diamonds. Venus, Mars, and Jupiter glow like strange lanterns. But the moon, completely gone, just an empty black disk hanging in the sky. Within hours, panic spreads. Power grids overload as everyone turns on heaters, lights, and electronics. Solar panels become useless overnight, plunging millions of homes into energy crises. The world's dependence on the sun is revealed instantly. It's not just warmth and light, it's energy, food, and survival. By the end of the first day, global governments are scrambling. Emergency broadcasts urge calm, but social media is chaos. Conspiracy theories spread. Some claim it's the end times, others insist aliens have stolen the sun. In reality, nobody knows how to prepare for the fact that life as we know it has an expiration date. In research labs and observatories, astronomers work frantically. They confirm the terrifying truth. Earth has left its orbit. Right now, we're flying through space at 67,000 miles per hour, no longer bound to a star. We are a rogue planet, a ghost ship in the void. Yet for now, most people are still alive. The oceans still move. The winds still blow. It almost feels normal. But this is only the calm before the storm. Within days, the true nightmare begins. By the end of the first week, the illusion of normal life is gone. The Earth, once bathed in golden sunlight, has become a dim, frozen world. Temperatures plummet below freezing. The average global temperature drops to around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's falling fast. In most cities, water pipes burst as ice expands inside them. Crops wither and die in fields, unable to survive without sunlight. Farmers realize what scientists already know. Photosynthesis has stopped. The food chain is collapsing. At night, which is now forever, the stars provide eerie beauty, but they cannot warm us. Without the sun, plants stop producing oxygen. Within weeks, the balance of gases in the atmosphere begins to shift. It's not immediate suffocation, but humanity can already feel the clock ticking. Desperate governments impose strict rations. Shelters are opened near power plants, but riots break out as supplies run thin. Families crowd around fireplaces and generators, but fuel is limited. For the first time, survival isn't about money, status, or politics. It's about heat, food, and community. Meanwhile, astronomers confirm what many fear: Earth is now a wandering planet. We've slipped the leash of the sun and are drifting into interstellar space. Our home, once orbiting predictably, is now homeless. And like a ship without a lighthouse, we're heading into the dark unknown. After 1 year without the sun, Earth is unrecognizable. The average surface temperature has plummeted to negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than the harshest Antarctic winter. Oceans begin to freeze, starting from the surface. The ice grows thicker each week, though the crushing pressure of water and geothermal energy deep below keeps the deepest layers liquid. Under those frozen shells, life clings on around volcanic vents. Microbes, fish, and strange creatures continue, unaware the sun has vanished. On land, nearly all plants have died. Forests stand frozen, their leaves brittle as glass. Most animals, unable to adapt, vanish. Humanity retreats underground, clinging to warmth from nuclear plants, coal, and natural gas reserves. Some nations experiment with giant geothermal bunkers, hollowing out the earth to tap its inner heat. Others attempt massive dome cities with artificial lighting. Survival has become an engineering problem, but humanity cannot feed itself forever. Without agriculture, food becomes the world's most precious resource. Nations collapse, populations shrink. What was once a planet of 8 billion now dwindles to scattered enclaves, surviving on innovation, cannibalized technology, and sheer willpower. Above the ice, Earth looks dead, a frozen marble drifting silently between the stars. If somehow humanity endures beyond a year, the long-term future is bleak. Within a few decades, the atmosphere itself begins to freeze. Oxygen and nitrogen fall as snow, blanketing the surface in a chemical frost. The once blue skies of Earth are gone, replaced by a frozen vacuum. Only the most fortified underground shelters, powered by nuclear fusion or geothermal heat, can sustain life. For everyone else, extinction. Oceans locked in ice become tombs. Continents vanish under glaciers thicker than skyscrapers. The Earth, once alive with color and movement, becomes indistinguishable from Pluto, a frozen rock drifting endlessly. And yet, life is stubborn. Microbes deep underground, near volcanic vents, continue as they always have. Extremophiles, creatures that thrive in heat, darkness, and pressure, remain. In the absence of the sun, these organisms inherit the Earth. If humans vanish, life doesn't end. It merely adapts. For humanity, survival requires something greater than adaptation. We would need technology capable of producing endless energy, perhaps fusion reactors or colossal machines orbiting other stars. Some dream of starships, generation vessels traveling for centuries to find a new home. Others imagine building a Dyson sphere around a distant star, harvesting its energy. But these are dreams, fragile blueprints in a frozen reality. Without the sun, Earth is doomed. Our only true chance is leaving it behind. So, could we survive without the sun? In theory, yes, for a while. Underground bases near geothermal hotspots could sustain small populations for centuries. Nuclear power could buy us time. Even advanced technologies, Fusion reactors, artificial biospheres, might stretch our survival for millennia. But these are not solutions for billions of people. They are lifeboats, not salvation. To thrive again, humanity would need to leave Earth, colonize moons, planets, or perhaps even free-floating space habitats powered by captured starlight. We would become a nomadic civilization, drifting between stars in search of warmth. In that sense, the sun disappearing forces humanity to evolve, either technologically or not at all. But let's not forget, this is only hypothetical. Our sun is stable. It will continue shining for another 5 billion years. When it does eventually die, it won't simply vanish. It will expand into a red giant, swallowing Mercury and Venus, and perhaps Earth itself, before collapsing into a white dwarf. But that is a distant future, unimaginable compared to our short lives. Still, thought experiments like this remind us of something profound: how fragile life is, and how lucky we are. Every sunrise is not just routine, it is a miracle, a reminder that without our star, there is nothing. If the sun suddenly went out, humanity would have 8 minutes of ignorance, a few weeks of survival, and perhaps a few decades of desperate struggle. But in the end, our star is our lifeline. Without it, we are nothing but shadows in the void. The real question isn't what happens if the sun disappears today, but what happens when it truly dies, billions of years from now. By then, will humanity have spread across the stars, or will we vanish in the dark, just another forgotten species in the endless night? For now, though, we still have the sun. And perhaps the smartest thing we can do is not take it for granted. Thanks for watching.